Hi gang, welcome to another edition of Doc's Dumpster, where it's a review of the movie The Boy Who Could Fly. Well, this one's about a young girl named Millie and her mom named Charlene and her little brother named Louis, who moved to a new town after the death of her father. And shortly after they get there, Millie notices that a young boy across from where they live at named Eric is he's kind of unique in his own way. He likes to imagine every once in a while that he could fly, and Millie starts to believe after a while that he can actually fly. And she tries to convince other people that he can do it, but she's not really 100% convinced. And, Eric hasn't said a word since his parents died in a plane crash, and, well, apparently because of that, he believes that he can fly, and so he's been being taken care of by his uncle, who's a drunk. And there have been several times where Eric gets taken away to an institution, and then one night he's shown back at his house during a thunderstorm on the roof, looking like he's trying to take off to fly. But then he winds up back in his attic. Millie finds him in a straitjacket, suffering from the cold rain. So then Millie and Eric become close friends, and then things start to really develop. At one point, Millie is on a field trip. She falls off a bridge, knocks herself unconscious, and believes that Eric flew down to save her. But there was no proof of that. So Millie's in the hospital, and one night Eric decides to come to visit her by being outside of her room, and they go flying around sort of like Superman and Lois Lane. But it turns out the whole thing could have been a dream. Millie's still convinced that Eric can fly. So, when Eric goes to another institution, yet again, she rescues him, and they go to the roof of the school where they're having a carnival at. And Eric convinces Millie that he can really fly. So they dive off the roof of the school, and before they hit the bottom, they wind up flying away together. Eric drops off Millie at her house. He winds up telling her that he loves her, and flies away. And for several days after that, people are coming around trying to figure out what could have made Eric fly and everything like that. His uncle decides to give up drinking, and the movie ends with Millie monologuing about everything that happened. She throws a paper plane towards the sky, and off it goes into the air. The movie stars Jay Underwood, Bonnie Bedelia, Fred Savage, Fred Gwynn, Mindy Cohn, and Jason Priestley. But the big question is, does The Boy Who Could Fly really deserve to be put into a dumpster? There's a reason. See, gang, my younger brother drove me nuts with this movie, and I cannot stand it. I mean, I thought it was predictable at first. You know, he told me all about it. He told me how much he liked it and everything like that. And I thought it was okay, but just way too predictable. And then he started watching it over and over and over and over and over again, and it just drove me nuts. Really, the scene where Louis gets revenge on the neighborhood bullies who keep picking on him, I thought that was okay. I thought it was an alright scene, but he outsmarts him and everything like that because he wants to ride his, I think they call them big wheels around the block, and at one point in the movie they tear it apart and everything like that, and then he gets his revenge on them, which was a pretty awesome scene, but still, ultimately overall, the whole movie was just a little ridiculous, and there's some pretty cruel moments in the movie too. When Millie gets back to her hospital room, she gets a volleyball thrown at her by a girl who threw a ball at her before, because Millie and Eric were at some place, and he made a kite fly, and he saved her from a baseball being flown to her face, and then she insists that this other girl hits her in the face with a volleyball, and that didn't work out. So yeah, so it's kind of like Eric is sort of like Superman. It's like, I cannot reveal my secret powers around other people because, well, stuff would happen. But yeah, it's again, it's a movie that just I could not watch to this day because it's a movie that, ugh, cannot stand this movie. I liked it the first time I watched it, but after my younger brother had to keep almost like watching it repeatedly almost every day, I really wanted to get our copy of it and throw it out in the street and watch people run over it because it's not a favorite movie of mine. But if you liked it, that's cool. And if you have any feelings about the movie, whether you agree or disagree, love to hear from you guys in the comments below. But there you guys have it, a review of The Boy Who Could Fly. And if you like my videos, always feel free to subscribe. And if you got a movie you think belongs in a dumpster, but hopefully it didn't fly away, send it my way, and I'll get on it ASAP. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching. And until next time, as always, stay strong and rock on.